Have you ever laid in bed after a long day, eyes closed, room quiet, but your mind just won't turn off? You look at the clock, 1:27 a.m. You shift, adjust the pillow, try counting sheep or going over your to-do list, hoping that somehow it'll lull you into rest. But instead, the hours drag on, and even if you do drift off for a bit, it's shallow sleep, and you wake up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, if you're over 65, trouble sleeping is more common than you might think. As we age, changes in our sleep cycle, hormones, and stress levels can all throw off our ability to get the deep, refreshing rest we need. And let's be honest, when you're not sleeping well, everything feels harder. Your energy drops, your memory gets fuzzy, and even your mood can take a hit. But here's the good news. You may not need sleeping pills or high-tech gadgets to improve your sleep. Sometimes the answer is as close and simple as your next breath. In this video, we're going to talk about a few gentle breathing habits that may help calm your mind, relax your body, and bring you the kind of restful sleep your body craves. These aren't complicated. They don't require equipment, just your breath and a little intention. Let's begin with something surprisingly powerful, simply becoming aware of your breath. You might think, well, I breathe all the time without thinking about it. That's true. But what most of us don't realize is that when we're anxious, tense, or even just distracted, our breathing changes. It becomes shallow, quick, and uneven. And shallow breathing keeps the body in a state of alertness. It tells your nervous system, we're not safe to relax yet. So the first habit, pay attention. When you lie down at night, before you even try to fall asleep, take a moment to feel your breath. Place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Which one rises more? For many people, it's the chest. But if your belly isn't moving much, that means your breath is stuck up high, short and tight. Just becoming aware of that is the first step to shifting it. Try this as you inhale. Gently breathe into your belly, letting it rise like a balloon. Then exhale slowly, allowing it to fall. No need to force it. No need to count. Just notice the movement. This type of breathing activates what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in calming switch. Within a few minutes, you may start to feel your heartbeat slow, your muscles unclench, and your thoughts soften. One woman I spoke with, Carol, 72 years old, had been struggling with sleep for years. She tried everything from melatonin to fancy pillows. Nothing stuck. Then, her doctor told her to try something incredibly basic, 5 minutes of mindful belly breathing before bed. At first, she didn't think it would work, but within a week, she noticed she wasn't tossing and turning as much. She felt more peaceful when she laid down, not sleepy, necessarily, but no longer tense. Over time, it became a comforting ritual. It's like tucking my nervous system into bed, she said. And that's the key. It's not about trying to force sleep. It's about creating the conditions for sleep to find you. Another breathing habit that helps many older adults is the 4 to 7 8 method. Now, don't let the numbers intimidate you. It's simple. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. That's one round. You can do 3 or 4 rounds to start. What's the point of all that counting? It's structure. It gives your mind something to focus on besides racing thoughts. It also slows your breathing to a calming rhythm, one that mimics how we breathe naturally when we're truly relaxed. The hold in the middle gives your body a moment to absorb oxygen deeply, and the slow, long exhale signals your body that it's safe to let go. Many people describe this breathing pattern as a reset button for the nervous system. A retired teacher named Daniel, who had been waking up multiple times a night, started using the 4 to 7 8 method as a way to fall back asleep without medication. It's strange, he told me, because I used to dread waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. But now, when I do, I just breathe. I don't panic anymore. And more often than not, I'm back asleep in 10 minutes. It's not magic. It's your body remembering how to rest when you give it the tools and time to do so. Now let's talk about another habit that's less about how you breathe and more about when. Many people breathe erratically all day fast during stressful conversations, shallow while watching the news, even holding their breath while reading. That tension builds up, and by the time bedtime arrives, the body's already on edge. So here's the shift. Bring calm breathing into your evening routine before you even get to bed. While washing the dishes, breathe slowly. While brushing your teeth, take 3 longer exhales. While reading, pause every few pages and feel your breath. This teaches your body that nighttime means slowing down. Think of it like dimming the lights before turning them off. If you go from a bright, noisy room to pitch black silence, your brain needs time to adjust. But if you gradually guide yourself into stillness, sleep becomes easier. The small act of calming your breath throughout the evening can do more than any pill bottle on the nightstand. And what I want to remind you is this: your body wants to sleep. It's not fighting against you. Sometimes it just needs help remembering how. Now that we've begun to tune into the breath, becoming aware of how it feels, gently guiding it deeper and slowing it down, let's talk about another simple but powerful idea: sighing. Yes, something as natural as a sigh can actually be one of the most healing things you can do before bed. Think about how a sigh feels in the body. It's usually a long exhale, maybe with a little sound, and often it comes after something stressful or even when you feel relief. You might sigh when you finally sit down at the end of a long day, or when something you were worried about turns out just fine. It's your body's way of letting go. But what if you could use that on purpose? There's a technique called the physiological sigh. It's incredibly simple. You take 2 short inhales through your nose, one right after the other, then exhale slowly through your mouth. So it's like this: inhale, a little more in, and then a long exhale. That double inhale fills your lungs completely, and the long exhale helps release built-up tension. Some researchers have found that doing just 1 or 2 of these sighs can reduce heart rate and lower anxiety in just moments. For someone over 65 who's lying in bed with their mind racing or their body feeling tight, this can be a beautiful tool. You're not trying to force yourself to relax. You're just giving your body permission to. I remember Margaret, a widowed grandmother in her 70s, who struggled to fall asleep after losing her husband. She told me, "My nights were the worst part of the day." That's when the sadness got loud. A friend suggested the sighing breath not as a fix, but as a comfort. She began using it not only in bed, but also when she felt emotional waves hit during the day. "It's like I can cry without crying," she said. "I just breathe it out, and I sleep better because of it." That's the quiet power of something so small. Your breath doesn't need to shout to change your body. It just needs to be steady and sincere. Now let's take things a step further, not just calming the breath, but pairing it with a practice called box breathing. It's used by everyone from monks to Navy SEALs, and yes, even seniors who just want to fall asleep without the frustration. Box breathing works like this: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds. Then repeat. Picture it like drawing the sides of a box: up inhale, across hold, down exhale, across hold. That rhythm creates a calming pattern in your nervous system. It gives your mind a clear, simple focus. And more than anything, it gives your body the message that it's safe. When we're younger, sleep comes easier in part because we feel more in control of our world. But as we age, our bodies change. People we love leave, and the future can feel more uncertain. Sleep becomes harder, not just because of biology, but because of worry. Worry about health, about time, about things left undone. Box breathing doesn't erase those thoughts, but it creates a pause. And in that pause, you might find peace long enough for sleep to slip in quietly. A man named Carl once shared how he used box breathing while listening to soft music in bed. It gave my mind something to count, and my body something to follow. He said, before I knew it, I was asleep, and I hadn't been able to say that in years. The best part you can do it sitting, lying down, even in a recliner. No fancy posture required. Another practice that often surprises people with its effectiveness is simply humming before bed. It may sound silly at first, but humming creates a vibration in the body, especially around the chest, throat, and face that helps stimulate the vagus nerve. That's the part of your nervous system that says, you're okay. You can rest now. You don't have to hum a song. Just take a breath in, then hum gently on the exhale. Feel the vibration in your lips, maybe your nose or your throat. Let it be soft, even quiet. You can hum once or a few times. The goal isn't to entertain anyone, it's to signal safety to your body. Some people like to hum a calming tune from childhood. Others just enjoy the feeling of vibration, like a little massage from the inside out. You might be surprised how quickly your chest relaxes, your jaw softens, and your eyes begin to feel heavy. A woman named Lucia started humming before bed after hearing it mentioned in a yoga class. I thought it was a little weird, she laughed, but it worked better than my tea or my lavender oil. She said it became her good night song not for someone else, but for herself. That's the thing about these breathing habits. They're not just techniques. They're acts of care, of offering your own body a bit of attention, a bit of stillness, a bit of grace. So much of aging is about adapting, letting go of what no longer works and discovering what does, and sleep is part of that. The tricks that used to work in your 40s might not anymore, but your breath, it's always there, always available, and always more powerful than you think. By now, you've heard how a few simple shifts in your breathing, whether it's sighing, slow counting, or even gentle humming, can quiet the mind and soothe the body. And the beauty of it is, none of these habits are about fixing you. You're not broken. Your body just needs reminders. Reminders that it's safe, that it's okay to rest, that the day is done, and the weight you've been carrying can finally be set down. And that brings us to one last breathing practice, one that many people over 65 say change their entire relationship with sleep. It's called extended exhale breathing. The idea is exactly what it sounds like. Make your exhale longer than your inhale. For example, breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, then breathe out slowly through your mouth for a count of 6 or 7. It might seem like a small thing, but your body notices. Because when your exhale is longer, it's a signal to your nervous system that it's time to relax, release, and reset. I once spoke with a man named George, 74, who had struggled for decades with falling asleep. He told me he was always the type who could get through anything during the day, but the moment his head hit the pillow, the what-if started, worries about his health, money, family, and the future. A friend of his had taught him this method of longer exhales, and he decided to try it. I thought it was too simple to work, he said, but I gave it a go. I breathed in for 4 and out for 6. Did that for about 5 minutes, and the next thing I remember, it was morning. I'd slept through the night for the first time in over 10 years. It wasn't about breathing perfectly. It was about breaking the cycle, the habit of stress, the habit of gripping the day even after it's over. With every long exhale, he was letting go of one more thing that didn't need to follow him into sleep. And that's the secret, isn't it? Sleep doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from letting go. Letting go of the tension in your shoulders. Letting go of the need to solve every problem before morning. Letting go of the noise in your mind that says, you're not doing enough, because you are enough. You have done enough. You deserve rest. You don't have to earn it by finishing everything on your list. You don't have to wait until all your worries are resolved. You don't need a perfect room, or perfect thoughts, or perfect silence. All you need is to breathe and allow that breath to carry you gently towards sleep. Now, I know that for many people watching this, sleep has become something stressful. Maybe you dread bedtime because you've come to expect another long night of staring at the ceiling. Or maybe you've become used to broken sleep, waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. and not knowing how to settle yourself again. And I just want to say, be gentle with yourself. These breathing habits, they're not a race. They're not a cure. They're an invitation. An invitation to slow down, to listen to your body, to return to the simple rhythm that has been with you since the very beginning of your breath. Maybe tonight, you'll try just one thing, a quiet belly breath, a humming exhale, a few rounds of 4 to 7, 8 breathing, or simply placing a hand on your chest and reminding yourself, I am safe, I can rest, and maybe that's all it takes to soften the edge of the night, to find a pocket of stillness, to fall into sleep not with a fight, but with grace. If any part of this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What breathing habit do you think you'll try tonight? Or if you already have a bedtime ritual that helps you sleep better after 60, please share it. Your wisdom could help someone else find peace too. If this video brought you comfort, insight, or just a small dose of hope, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like more calming, practical tips for living well, after 60, don't forget to subscribe. This is a space where your experiences matter, your health matters, and your rest matters. Before we go, I want to leave you with this. Sleep is not something you have to chase. It's something you allow. You don't have to force your body into stillness. You simply have to create a quiet enough space inside yourself for sleep to find you. Let your breath be that space. Let your breath remind you of your strength and your softness. And as you close your eyes tonight, know this, you are not alone. Many others are breathing with you, releasing with you, resting with you. Here's to better nights, deeper rest, and a tomorrow that begins with a peaceful mind and a rested heart. Take care of yourself. You've earned every moment of peace that comes your way. Good night.